Hi, my name is Zach Morrison. I was falsely accused, jailed, racially motivated, and as a result, I lost my scholarships and everything that I had at that time. Being black is not a sentence or anything like that. Racism is not America's problem. Racism is a spiritual problem, has always been. I've been married 37 years. I have 3 kids. I grew up in an integrated neighborhood. I was in jail for 7 to 8 days. The clicking of guns, the cocking of guns to our head. I had one to my head, one to my back. And we was called all type of racial slurs and things like that. And next thing we knew, we were arrested, crowd gathered around. We were pushed around and just really dehumanized from that moment there. All the officers were involved were white. They cared less about us and more about their brotherhood. And from there, things just got bad. Things just got bad. At that point, my hatred, and I want you to understand this, my hatred for whites grew and grew and grew. The system wasn't what it's supposed to be, and the guys that were supposed to protect us, again, they only saw me as a black guy. I was in college. My education, where I resided, meant nothing. Only thing was my color. And because of my color, it's why I lost my education, I lost my scholarships. When I graduated high school, I received so many scholarships for music. You know, they called me a prodigy. And with all of that being in jail, all of that just stripped and just went away. God had to really do a work in my life because I was just bitter. Yeah, just bitter. Just bitter. So now I'm in jail. I'm in LA County. I was approached by this gentleman in jail. I remember this so vividly. I walked into the cafeteria and I saw all the guys there. And of course, all eyes on me. You know, they probably wasn't, but it just felt that way. And this guy, listen to this. He rose up, he came over to me and he says, "You're not gonna make it." So you're not gonna make it. And so I asked him, "What do you want?" He says, "Nothing. I'm here for you." I became a belt to that guy's waist. I never let that guy out of my sight for the whole time I was incarcerated. Wherever he went, I went. If he went to the restroom, I was there. If he went to the rec area, I was there. I followed him night and day. Guess what? That guy was white. God had begun to break me down there. And right before I was released, I asked the jailers, I said, "Where is that guy?" I can't think of his name now. And this is what they told me. I want you to listen to this. I gave them the description, and the jailer said, "There was never a guy here that fit that description." And then I knew that the faithfulness of God prevailed no matter where I was. That guy was my angel that was sent to protect me. I tried to find him years later. I tried to find him while I was still there before I got released. And I got the same response from the inmates to the jailers. There was no one here that fit that description. God had bigger plans for me. I wasn't harmed. I wasn't abused while I was there, but God took very good care of me. After my 7th day, I received notification that I was going to be released. And this was part of my anger because I felt that my dad should have got me out. He should have came and bailed me out. When I spoke with him, he said, "You just have a day left." And man, that was just tough. But my attorney had already told me that I was going to be released, but I still need to go before the judge. And my time before the judge, a lot of things were said. And this what struck me. He said, all of your friends corroborated the same story, the same way, even when you were separated. You all told the same story. He said there wasn't any detail that was omitted. And he told me this, he said, "We're going to throw it out." At that time, I didn't know what throw it out meant. I didn't know if it was sealed, the record sealed. I just didn't know what that meant. I'm still angry. I'm just trying to get back to Long Beach. Okay. My story of 41 years. I'm hoping that you can take this story, and if you know someone that's dealing with this, is dealing with the hatred and dealing with retaliation, tell my story. Tell them how God took me and totally disintegrated racism in my mind. I didn't go in being that way, but the series of events caused me to be that way. But only the power of Jesus Christ brought me back again. Hallelujah.